too. Check.
He ran through the Indies to the Andes. It's been a while.
It has.
I can't even remember when we did our last back talk. It's been quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do some
It's
more.
been 7 months.
We'll do 2 together here for you.
It's a reunion tour. Back talk. Back.
A reunion tour.
I hate
All right.
that. All right. So, welcome, folks. I'm Tom Vassell.
I am dying.
Coughing McGee.
That's Z Garcia.
Back talk got to me, man. Too much back talking.
That's why I didn't do it. Because it
I'm
does me
Z.
every
Hi.
time. I'm Sam. Welcome back, folks.
All right. So, about 4 days ago, we got back from Essen Spiel. There's someone was complaining that no one calls other conventions by their city names. Like we don't say, I'm going to Indianapolis.
Or
I know. It's called the
Indie
Spiel,
Gen Con.
Spiel Tag, whatever. But
It
International.
happens when you name your convention game. What are we supposed to do?
yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like game fair, maybe. I don't know what it means.
Americans started calling it Essen years ago, and we just have.
Most people
Follow
do say
through.
Essen Spiel.
All right. Well, either way, we went to this big giant fair with who knows how many people were there because they only do turnstile numbers.
Yep.
So, but
More than a few.
there was a lot. We had a booth. This is our. What year is this of us having a booth? Our 3rd year?
Yes.
3 or 4? I don't know.
Because this is my 3rd year and we've had it every time I've gone.
So then it's the 4th year because
You had 1
We
year?
had the booth the year before you came.
4. Yeah.
4th year of having a booth, and I think it's my 7th time going, 6th or 7th time going.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, there's a
Huh?
lot to talk about, but we want to thank Colossal and Madigo for sponsoring this video, sponsoring our Essen sponsorship coverage overall. Once we're done with this, we're never going to talk about Essen again. That's not true. We brought back more games than ever.
Yes.
100 just
Eight-
in the luggage and another 300 on the way.
106 or something like that.
106 in the luggage, and that's not including the other box that we have not yet added to that.
No, okay, so that's about 10 more than Kenny just found a game in his thing today. That was another one.
So
We're
about-
finding games in strange places. Like I open up my sock drawer. I'm like, oh, a game
One-
that came from Essen, and I forgot it ended
so
up in here.
round up to 120, I would imagine. 120 games in just our luggage, and then we have, what, 18 boxes coming on pallets?
17, something like that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, more than that because we got some we got some boxes of snacks coming too.
Ooh.
Yeah. Snacks.
Well,
Snacks are
Can we
good.
review those?
just like a snack unboxing.
Unboxing, yeah, and then you
A
review
snack
it.
taste testing we go around.
First
In a
impressions,
consuming video?
good. Sweet. Nice aftertaste.
That's actually not a terrible idea. First of all, if you happen to be there at Essen, a huge thank you from us.
Yeah, very much so.
We get nice people come by every show, but
Yeah.
it seems like the nicest to come by at Essen.
I would be careful saying that.
Wow.
If you've seen us at other shows, you're okay.
Yeah,
No, okay. Well,
that follows. You have
Whatever.
to-
I clarified at the beginning, but I'm telling you, it's amazing the amount of gifts people bring us at Essen.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Well, they're definitely sweet. Lots and lots of chocolate,
That happens to UKGE
sausage.
as well.
Yeah, UK games. Maybe it's a European thing. We just
I think
give
it's
gifts.
more of the fact that, for me anyway, that I meet people there at Essen from all over the world.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be able to,
They want to share their, a very small part of their culture with
Yeah.
us. Yeah, that's
and just meeting people from all over, that's very humbling, and it's nice just to meet all those folks. So
yeah, very much so.
that's
So-
what makes it that feeling.
I really do like it too.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Essen. We might take some questions about Essen live. A couple things here. Someone mentioned First of all, I thought you couldn't import food in the U.S. You can't import necessarily fresh food, but packaged food.
Yeah, sure. You can't
no
bring,
problem.
meats and fruits and such.
What Big Daddy don't know won't hurt him.
No, that's not the case. Okay, Bartholomew said Essen was in 2018 was 11% larger in space, but only had a 4.5 increase in attendance.
Okay.
Who are the people that figured that out?
Well, it definitely was bigger in space, and adding Hall 6 really made it more space. Could you tell with the crowds? What did you think of the crowds?
I think it felt slightly less crowded, so that follows. 11% growth in space, but only a 4.5% growth in capacity in
Hall
attendance.
3 did not feel less crowded.
But Hall 3 also is sort of like where everybody congregates anyway. I think that math feels right.
Hall 3 and the Mezza. Those are the two things that I would, if I could avoid those. It also felt like there was a noticeable drop in attendance.
Gallery is what that's
gallery,
called,
right. There was a noticeable drop in attendance. For me, it felt like from Thursday to Friday.
Uh-huh.
Thursday was crazy. Saturday was insane. Mm-hmm. If I would only go one day, I might pick Friday as the day to go.
I had a good number of people telling me on Thursday that, people that stopped by that they were coming today and they had to go back to work on Friday. So that may have had something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe just a lot of people took Thursday off.
I think a lot of people want to be there the opening day in case something runs out, maybe.
Sure. No. I mean, it's that opening day. If there's a con to run for a game, Essen is that con, right? Although I don't remember hearing about many people like running out of games in the first hour.
Japan brand always runs out, right?
Sure.
I mean, their stuff is just gone. The rest, I don't know what I would run for that you would be worried if it would run out. Some of the smaller publishers. That's it, I guess.
Yeah.
There's definitely, and even if it's, I guess if you run and you're like, oh, you're out, I guess I'll be forced to buy these other 150 games instead.
Yes.
I thought they did a good job at differentiating. Hall 6 was a very unique hall. Like, if you want to see different stuff, Hall 6 had books,
leather goods, stuff like that.
like geek
masks
stuff, miniatures. If you were miniatures, you just go to that hall and you knew where to find everything. Small publishers, 4 and 5. Asmodee, Hall 1.
That's basically it.
Although Asmodee's coverage was not as, I didn't think their booth was as cool as last year. Last year they had this huge stage and everything. Mm-hmm. This year it seemed like they toned it down.
They partnered with Twitch last year.
I think they still were.
Yes,
were they?
I think so, yes.
I didn't actually go into Hall 1. Hall 1 and maybe Hall 3. Those are the two that I pretty much avoided the most, I think.
Well, Hall 3 is just
because they're just always jam-packed. I went through Hall 1, I think, a total of 4 trips. Once to go to the press, another one to come back from the press event, going to our live show, and coming back from our live show. That is true. The only 4 times I was in Hall 1. There's just too many people in there.
Well, your best time to go through those halls is like 9:30. Since we have the exhibitor passes, that's when I would go to Hall 3 and be like, ooh, wow, this all looks cool. Here comes the crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
All right.
But 3 especially.
3 especially. Otter says, thank you for taking the time to talk to everyone at the booth at Essen. It means a lot to us. Graham says, what was the best demo that we had? Aside from the quality of the game, who did the best job of showing off their game?
I didn't see any demos, so I don't know.
Yeah, Sam, you're the demoer.
Yeah, I was able to demo like 12 different games. Probably the one I enjoyed the most, they were both still in prototype form, coming from larger publishers, but I demoed a new hockey game called Trick Shot, coming from Wolf Designer. That was a fun game, and
it sounds like a dexterity game, is it?
No.
No, it just sounds like on Trick Shot.
It's pretty much a sports. What do you call it? Simulation, where it is simulating the game of hockey, and it does a pretty good job of it. The best that I've played so far.
Any fights?
No, it doesn't go that far down that path. It abstracts a lot of that out. There's no like checking or fighting or anything like that. But
expansion,
the flow of the game and how fast it plays and how quickly you can score a goal. That's all there. So that was fun. And then the other one was the other one that I really had fun with, because the 3 people who were demoing it with me were all from the company, and they were all developers of the game. And so they had already played the game so many times, and they were trying to go through it and find these different iterations, Solomon Kane. And it was a scenario where you had to ask questions and find information out, and they were doing the best that they could to try to find information that they hadn't found before in all of the other times that they had played the game as developers. And they did all of that while still not spoiling anything for me during the actual playthrough. So that was a really fun time during that, because they knew the game inside and out, so there was no questions about rules or anything like that. And
That always helps.
they just did a really good job. It was the people at Mythic Games. So.
Someone asked here about the theft at the fair. We were very fortunate that we were not robbed. Of course, we had Uli, who
we had Uli.
I think he would have attacked, and he was really keeping an eye on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, as far as I can tell, more theft this year than ever from companies. One company had everything stolen during cleanup. Several companies lost their whole cash box, thousands of euros. They have like teams of professionals working together. I don't think they're gamers. I think they're just people who are coming to the fair and stealing stuff. I don't know what can be done about it. I mean, there's obvious things like have more credit card sales. It's harder to steal. You know, of course, that means the iPad, which is worth money.
Yeah.
They said that there's plainclothesmen walking around there.
Policemen.
Yeah. I really don't know how to fix it. I mean, or how they would fix it with a huge crowds like that. Like if you go to any big crowded event, pickpockets are there. I don't hear much about that at Essen, though. Do you? Like pickpockets?
I don't know. It might happen anyway.
A good pickpocketer, you won't know he got you. So.
Well, it might be happening and the news doesn't propagate like it would if someone's cash box got stolen.
Yeah, that's true. Well, either way, it's an unfortunate thing that's happened, and I know that the publishers are talking about how to deal with it. But
well, I know security was very lax this year. I mean, this year. Last year, every time I went through the gates, they checked my bags. Every single time.
They checked your bags?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every single time they checked my bags. This
that.
year, never. Not once.
They checked my bag one time the first day. Never again.
Well, it might be because we were exhibitors.
It shouldn't matter.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Who can't fake an exhibitor?
They also need to go through, I think, at the end, like we know where they need to kick everybody out who's not an exhibitor. During the cleanup time, I think that would help because unless exhibitors are stealing from other exhibitors.
Security was too lax, man. They need to take a page from Pax's.
Does Bonica have a
security?
Have a what?
Alibi for when these?
Oh my god!
I feel some trolling coming on.
That is not okay.
That is not all right.
That is not okay.
Poor Stephen Potter. At least this isn't public.
Did he show up in chat? Is that what happened?
No, but if he had showed up in chat, I would
great.
have just accused him straight
If
up.
he pops up right now, hold up.
Fanny pack is an instant pickpocket stopper, says Jay. Sure, it's also an instant.
Is that Jay Peak?
Yeah, Jay Peak said that.
Jay, no.
It stops a lot of things, like people being your friend.
We ain't wearing no fanny pack, Jay. I don't care how much you bling it out and make it, put 15 pieces of flair on it and all that other kind of stuff. We ain't gonna wear no fanny pack.
All right, so we saw a lot of different games there at the fair. We saw, really, I felt when it came to seeing games, almost overwhelmed. To the point where someone would be like, hey, see this new game? And I was like, oh, cool. There's a ton of games.
I heard a lot of, like, the excuse me, from what I've been reading online, the general consensus seems to be a lot of people felt this year was underwhelming with the games that were there. How do you guys feel about that?
I think people are spoiled.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you are underwhelmed by these games, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, sure, they're not all amazing, but there's so many good ones. I mean, like, on the shelf you guys can't see behind me here, we have a lot of... I'm excited to play like 30 of those games.
Yeah.
That's a good year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's just a little bit of, I think, desensitivity, I guess, maybe would be the word to use, because... we have so many games that are available to us right now. When you already have too many games, then you can play, and then, 2,000 more games get added to it in one fair, yeah, sure, you're not going to be able to see all of it, and it might seem underwhelming for you, but it's not because it actually is underwhelming.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think there were games there for everybody, Lots of family weight games, roll and rights, and, big heavy Euro games. And, I mean, there was a swath of games for just about any taste you could have in gaming today. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to be underwhelmed by that.
I think there were more good games at Essen in 2018 than were released between 1990 and 2000.
Sure, right.
Total. I really do. I think there was a lot of great games released between 1990 and 2000, but I think I'm not. I don't think I'm off the base there.
So you're saying, what was it? 2 decades?
No, just 1 decade.
Okay, 1 decade, and then 1 year.
Yeah, I really think so.
Wow, because last year was a pretty good year.
No. That's why I don't know.
He said 90.
1990 to 2000.
Oh, okay. All right.
There were some great games that came out then.
The garbage decade.
No.
What
Magic the Gathering, El Grande, Catan.
El Grande. Oy.
No, a lot of good games came out, but when I go make my top 10 list from those years, it's a struggle to come up with.
Yahtzee came out in
games.
the 90s. Horrible decade.
Right.
In fact, if you were born in the 90s, you're very young.
This person said, last year we stayed Friday until way over closing, and only at 8 did security see us. We thought there was a line to get out, so we were hanging around. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I would be surprised if there's not some upping of security next year.
It makes sense. There should be.
And one of the things I really liked about this year was seeing it seems like every year globalization gets stronger. Mm-hmm. Like this year I talked at an Indonesian booth that was being sponsored by the government, the Indonesian government there. I think like they covered half their costs or whatever. And they had like 20-some games. Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, China, Japan. There's like whole groups, there's like whole conglomerates of gamers out there. And we met people from all over the world. Yeah. The only place we're not seeing publishers, I'm trying to think, where lots of South American publishers now too.
Yes.
I'm not seeing a lot of African publishers yet, but I did meet some people from there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're like a few years from that happening.
We met a couple guys from South Africa, I think.
Yeah, I did too, but I don't know if they were publishers or just playing.
I think they were bloggers.
So yeah, I think I really like that.
Yeah.
Because it's just neat to see all the different cultures, to play all different games, and if you're looking for little games like Z, you tend to like these smaller games.
Yeah.
This Spiel's like heaven.
Yeah. There's a lot of games there you might not see somewhere else, or at least will be harder to find after the fact, which can be a blessing and a curse, of course, if you are there and don't have a budget.
Leave me alone.
It's great to be able to come across all these little publishers. I've always said one of my favorite things there is to have a big booth from an established publisher. You know what's coming out because they've been talking about it, right next to this booth you've never heard about, and they've got 2 little card games there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's valid. Either way is valid. That's great that everybody's in the same building together. That's exciting.
Now, if you're attending the fair, now we had a booth, like you said, you didn't go in a hall 1 hardly at all. Mm-hmm. Would you attend it? Or is it too crowded?
I mean, if I was just going there to go there,
right,
I would probably do what I did this year, and I had a very pointed plan of what I was going to do when I wasn't at the booth.
Like, I'm going to go here, demo a game, going to go here, demo a game.
Yep, that's exactly what I did.
Like, just walking around, that's what I like to do. And so I do go around and try to look at everything. And if I was just attending, I would do the same thing. But I think after a while, I would probably go find somewhere to sit down because
walking around.
The crowds don't bother me normally, but they were pretty tight this year.
Yeah, walking around is kind of a misnomer at a fair like Essen, because you get to some points, there are clutch points, there are intersections between 2 different halls and 2 different wide aisles. And it's like, okay, I'm going to stand here for 15 minutes while I just, baby step in the direction that I'm trying to go. And then on the other side of that intersection, it opens up again. And that drives me.
I still wish they would open. There's like 4 halls they're not using.
Right.
I still wish they would just open a hall and make it open gaming.
That probably costs more money.
Sure. And that's why the price to get into the Spiel is like 1/3 the price to go to Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why, because
I think the publishers don't necessarily want there to be open gaming there. If you have open gaming, you're driving people away from your demos and from selling. It's a selling convention, right? I mean, that's
Right.
what Essen Spiel is. If you've got a place for people to go buy one game, maybe not from you, and go sit down and play it, that's time they're not looking at your booth and possibly buying your game. It just makes sense. I could see them opening gaming after the booths close. And so you're not stealing time away from selling games. But at the same time, it just doesn't make sense for them. I mean,
I guess I would still, I don't know. Well, what's the question that's always asked? Okay, so someone's a gamer, they live in the Americas. We
Yeah.
won't say Europe, because Europe you can drive to Spiel.
yeah, probably.
Should you go? Would you recommend someone from America going to
Again, this
Spiel?
is the same question I always struggle with the whole, is this game worth it? I don't know. I mean, it depends
Okay,
how
well,
much
let's
money-
say that money is not an object. The person could afford it if they really wanted
Then
to.
yes, go. Sure, it's great. Now, I did run into a lot of people that had been there a few times, and it seemed almost unanimously that everyone was there 2 days, which was interesting, who had been there before.
You mean the Europeans or Americans?
Just people who had been, I don't know about them, I don't know where they were from necessarily, but like everyone who I spoke to, I'm like, oh, are you here all 4 days? And they would say, oh, no, yesterday and today, or today and tomorrow, just 2 days. They had been there before. A couple of times, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever, right? So I think if you've never been there, go for all 4 days. But I think naturally, once you have been there a few times, you won't need all 4 days. You can mix that in with, say, a vacation or something.
I could be happy with 2
You
days.
can be there 2 days. I think in 2 days, you get to do what you want to do.
I don't. A lot of the people I spoke to were there for all 4 days. There were a few that said that, I'm coming today, I have to work tomorrow, but I'll be back Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They were there as much as they could. They spent as much time there as they could. But yeah, I guess once you've been there one time, you know the lay of the land, so to speak, and you know how to navigate around. You know all the shortcuts to get from one hall to the next, so you don't have to really struggle with the crowds as much as you used to. So yeah, I could see that, working in 2 days at the fair for in the middle of a week or something like that.
Yeah, I would say if you're going as a, if you're going from the Americas to Essen Spiel, is it worth it? Again, money being no object, not an issue, then yeah, sure. I would also mix it in with a vacation, though. I mean, I might go 2 days, maybe even all 4 days, but mix it in with something else.
Sure, right.
And not just Essen. I mean, you want to go somewhere else. Essen doesn't feel particularly touristy.
It's not.
It's not, right?
So there are 2 things. One I really like, the one I'm not a big fan of at Essen. One, the thing I like is I still like the con food itself. I know that people
Sure.
live in Germany have said it's not that great of food, but I've been to many, many, many conventions, and easily Essen has the best food in convention center.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Compared to,
We're
American
pretty close to
cons,
it.
I will starve rather than eat some of the food at American cons
Sure.
in the
Well, I
convention
don't know.
center.
If you go to the food trucks food is pretty good.
True, but that's not in the convention center. It's outside. That's great. That's like an outside vendor.
I guess so. I guess
If they let these people come inside these cons in America, the food truck people,
yeah, but I mean, it's kind of equitable to walk outside the hall to a food truck to then walk through 3 halls from your booth to go to the promenade.
sure, but I'm
whatever.
still saying it's still inside. I really like the fact that,
Yeah.
and it's to me, I'm still amazed when I walk and see like a food booth, a beer place, and then a game. It is all next to each other. But I've liked that, although I think I'm done getting that big pretzel covered with cheese. That's just too much dough. I tried that again this year. I was like, yeah, it's good. But those sausage sandwiches, the thing I don't like about Essen, and I don't know why it's the case, it's a humongous convention center, and it feels like they have 3 bathrooms.
Yep.
They probably have like 6. But there is not many bathrooms. They are always crowded, and I'm a guy.
I'm pretty sure they have.
I went by the female bathroom at one point, and the line was like 30, 40 people long. I was like, ugh.
I think they.
I did not go at all this year.
I don't know.
Bathroom.
I didn't either. I would go in the morning and then.
You're still holding it now?
Not anymore.
Oh my goodness.
No, I mean last year or the year before, whenever it was horrible. Just having to stand in line. You're waiting forever, and then there's like that person cleaning in the bathroom, which just makes me feel uncomfortable. It was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So this year, I just made sure I didn't have to. I just avoided it entirely.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to a fair where tens of thousands of people are going to be there, so you have to kind of assume that you're going to have to wait in line.
No,
go
that's
to the bathroom.
fine. It's just
the way it is.
No matter
No,
what time.
but I'm telling you, when I go to Origins and Gen Con, there are many, many, many bathrooms all over the place there.
Yeah. I think each hall has. Stop it. Each hall has. I haven't seen a floor plan, but I think each hall has at least 1, maybe 2 bathrooms.
Well, then you know secrets I don't know, because there definitely is not 2 that I've seen per hall. We're lucky if there's 1. Was there 1 in hall where we were?
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Back in the corner.
anywhere's a bathroom if you're brave enough.
Back. Go to your least favorite publisher's booth.
All right.
No, I mean, yeah, there was one back in the back of our hall. And
All right.
And then if you go over to Hall 5, there was one in between Hall 5 and 6. Yeah, I think they have at least 1 or 2 in each hall.
This person says just carry a bottle around.
Hmm?
But just carry a bottle around. That better not be the reason you've been playing with that.
What is wrong with
no,
you? What is wrong with you? Lie.
I'm going to do that.
Auga.
Come on. I'm not going to do that.
Auga.
Alrighty. Well, overall, had a good time. Very tired. For me, the best. There's 2 things I like about Essen. One is meeting people,
Yeah.
and the other is seeing all these really new cool games.
And
There's
food.
no other
Food.
con.
3 things.
Now, the food wasn't as big of it on my list this year. I know.
Anathema.
But we see more new games at Essen than we see at every other con around the year put together.
Yeah.
And so there's that. And I like meeting the people, but I'm always glad to come home. It's always when I'm done with Essen. It wasn't as bad this year. We actually talked at dinner this year.
That's right. The last night, yes. Well, last time we had a very lethargic final meal. Yes.
Yep. Definite shawarma scene.
I think we're all learning to pace ourselves a little better at these cons. And us, we kind of took Friday night off. What a great idea that was. We got the sandwiches in the booth,
Oh, yeah.
and we went right back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Just,
You got to do it or you'll burn out. You need to pace yourself.
but I had a good time overall
Saturday was the rejuvenator for me.
at the Dyson Mystics.
Dyson Mixes.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the definite rejuvenator. That was such a great event. Love it.
Yeah, I had a great time myself. I love going to Essen. It's one of my favorite conventions of the year, and it just, again, I think it's partly because it's sort of a worldly event. You get to see people there from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come up and speak Spanish to me. They're from either Spain or somewhere in South America, and so that's neat, seeing folks from everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's and then, of course, like I said, all the games from all over the world, all sorts of small teams and large teams putting games out. It's exciting to see all of that under the same roof, basically.
All right. Well, at this point, we'll take some questions. If you have any questions, I'm going to give priority to Essen questions if you have any.
Yeah.
But we'll take any. We'll do it for a bit, and then we'll close down. How much of a language barrier is there at Essen?
Didn't seem to be a problem.
If you speak English,
Yeah.
Somebody at a booth will be able to come in.
yeah. In fact,
I
some of the
even
booths they were like, we need to find someone who speaks German.
Yeah, I even was out one of the nights I went out, and coming back I walked by a little pizza place called Pizza Express or something. It was late at night. I was like, I feel like grabbing something and taking it back to the room with me. And the concern crossed my mind, these people might not speak English. So I popped in there and I started speaking English to them, and the guy behind the counter, who was slightly younger than middle-aged, let's say, he spoke English right back. He understood what I mean, boom, it was no problem. So most people will speak English, at least enough to understand what's going on.
It's really easy to get around, I think.
It really is.
To do
It really
stuff.
is. It's not a problem.
At least, especially, and that's Germany. In Essen itself, I can't think of a single booth where I ran in any. There was one booth where I had a hard time communicating, and it was an Italian booth, and I don't think they spoke English very well. But that was the only place I ran into. And even that was very minor. I still was able to communicate what I wanted to say to them.
Yeah.
All right, how many booths were selling games from Asia? At least 30? There's a lot. There's a lot of conglomerates, though.
That's the problem, yeah. There's a lot of different companies that all come together and share a booth. I don't know if 30 sounds high.
Yeah, it does.
But there certainly were 30 companies. They might not have 30 booths, right? Because they'll share them up. Like,
No.
I mean, even just Japan brand is actually
All right, well, let's
5 or 6 or 7 companies sharing.
right, but
booths.
let's pretend Japan brand is one company. Like Japan brand, Korean. There was Korean board games. There was the Korean conglomerate. There was Busan board games. There's at least 3 from Korea.
Right.
Then there was the group from Thailand, the group from Indonesia. There was the Taiwan board game design group.
Yes.
There was Oink.
Yes.
And those are just ones I'm thinking. I'm off the top of my head.
Sure,
I
I'm
know
sure
there
there's
was more.
There's a few more. Yeah. I mean, 15 maybe.
What's your favorite German dessert? I like ice cream. They don't do this in America where they take the ice cream cone and stick it in sprinkles. Or I've never seen that anywhere. I love that.
What?
Every
They must
year.
do that here somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know where. Where?
Well, I'm not a ice cream freak like you are, so I don't know.
Oof. Called you out. Called you out.
I'm an ice cream freak. All right. The poster is awesome. Thank you for all those who got the posters. You will not see those again. So,
Yes.
when is Essen in 2019?
Violence!
How busy was your
I'll
booth
return
during the
it when I get
fair?
my
You
bottle
a
back.
gangster.
How busy was your booth throughout the fair? When I went past, it was busy most of the time. We had some minor downtime on Sunday, maybe.
What are you talking about?
Saturdays.
Like, how busy was our booth?
Sunday. Sunday we had a little bit of
Sunday,
downtime.
but
yeah.
there was almost always someone at the
there was
booth.
some on Saturday too.
Yeah. It would ebb and flow for sure, but usually it was someone, at least one person coming by.
During lunchtime, right around the middle of the day, it would slow down.
Definitely Thursday, though, it was packed.
Yep,
From
yep.
beginning to end, Thursday was the
Well,
most
then
crowded
Friday
day.
morning, which is when we give out the tickets, folks come by.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. I like doing that. Well, I mean, I always hope that the last person, there's their ticket left? And I'm like, yes. I turned away maybe 10, 15 people. And then a lot of those people came and they all got in anyway.
And then we turned away like 40 to 50 people the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, but I said come in the morning, so I don't feel bad for
I
those
know.
people. I
No,
mean,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
run and you miss one, I feel bad about that. You decide to wait 2 hours, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have got that hot game you wanted.
Yes.
What was the most overlooked game of Essen in each of our opinions?
Jeez.
Overlooked game.
I'm just going to keep saying that Symphony game because, I mean, I think that looks cool, but I don't know if it's overlooked. I don't know if it deserved to be.
The problem is, again, I haven't played a lot of these games.
I mean, in order to say that a game was overlooked, you have to have a baseline of reference
Sure, that's
To-
true too, yes.
to know that other games got the limelight, whereas this game didn't. So you really can't make that
There's a lot of
determination.
really-
It's not an opinionated thing. It's,
No, it's a gut feeling you're going with. There's a lot of attractive looking games. I don't know how much attention they got. That's the problem. But there are a lot of games that look like middleweight sort of family games that are gorgeous looking. And they were not from Asmodee, so who knows? You know, like there's a game called Small Islands. Gorgeous little game. Tile laying game. But it was in the hall where we were. Hall 4, right? And so, you know, it wasn't 1. 1 was getting tons of attention. It wasn't 3. So I don't know. The only game I played there was Solenia, but that is Hall 1. That was Asmodee. It's Pearl Games. That's great, but there was a little small company from, I forget where they are, but it's a Spanish-speaking company, and they had a little tiny card game called Ramen, which I actually thought was going to be a large box.
Ramen.
Because I saw the picture online, and it looked like a large box. It's a tiny little card game, like 6-nipped. That's a gorgeous little filler. I don't know if, and again, I haven't played it. I don't know if it's going to be great, but that got no attention, I'm sure.
This is the problem, though, that we run into every convention. People come up, hey, what's the hidden gem? Well, we'll tell you next, Essen.
Yeah, we'll tell you after we play them. That's the problem.
All right. Someone says, do you miss stuff like panels at Essen?
No.
I like that sort of thing. They did a retailer thing this year.
Yeah.
Summit. I think it was called Essentials.
Essen.
Something like that. Yeah.
I see what they did there.
Someone says, what does Essen lack? And someone responded, Essen lacks war games. Yeah, if you're a war gamer, there was some, but not a ton.
Yeah.
Even miniatures is
PSC
much
Games
smaller.
was there. Hall 6 had a whole bunch of miniatures games in it as well.
Right.
And a lot of other kinds of booths that give you accessories for that type of stuff, like carrying cases for your miniatures and that type of stuff. They had a whole lot of that in Hall 6. But yeah, I mean, it's, you gotta, it makes sense, the continent has been ravaged by war over the years. So, I mean, if they shy away from it, you kind of understand why.
Oh, sure. Someone said, do you tend to go out in the evening to eat, work, or just stay in and open up games you've bought? Yes.
Did a little bit of both.
Yeah.
If we would go out and eat, we'd do that, but then I'd come back to the room and punch things and sort them and, nest games for bringing back.
Essen goes to 7 o'clock at night, which personally I don't really care for. I'd rather it end at 6.
Yes.
Because that last hour you're like, all right, come on. It's a 9-hour con, and since you can't show up at 10, you got to be there like 9:30 or so. It's pretty close to a 10-hour well, it is, because once you add you don't leave at 7:00
right,
either.
Right,
so
right.
it's 10 hours. That's a long time. So at night, every night we used to go out for a big meal, which took another 3 hours, and then that was exhausting. So now we did one big meal, I think? No, we just did one. We did our one with the Kickstarters on Thursday.
Yes, right.
Wednesday we kind of just walked
Went to a
around.
smaller place.
And
then Friday we just did the sandwiches or whatever.
Friday we did the sandwiches. We just grabbed some sandwiches and ate them at the booth. Saturday we went to Dice and Mystics, which was again very calm and relaxing. And then Sunday we ate at the hotel. Yeah, I mean I love those big meals. They're fantastic, but after a 10-hour day they're really long. Essen is the one con where at night I don't feel like that. Like at Gen Con I'm like, I can't sit in my hotel room. I'm gonna go explore. I'm gonna go find stuff. At Essen I'm like, I'm okay. We played some games in the lobby. I did. You crashed mostly, right?
I did for most of the time. I mean, the first couple of nights I did some stuff on the in the lobby when we got back, but after that, yeah, it was.
Well, that lobby that the hotel we stay in isn't huge anyway. You got to grab that table.
You got people that'll
ASAP.
camp. You got people that'll camp on tables and.
Yeah. I played up in the room with Kenny myself.
Did we get a lot of snacks like Stroop waffles? Yes. We'll show them up. Well, what we do at the end is we do a snack draft. Well, now we just make it. It used to be more complicated. Now we just say, Mandy, Suzanne, Eric, take what you want, and then we box the rest. And we still had 2 boxes.
Oh, is that what you did? I wasn't around for that. Okay.
I told them take what you want, and then we have. I think was there 2 snack boxes or 3?
I think 2.
2. Yeah. So we'll open those up on camera when we get them back.
Then we'll do a draft, a Winston draft.
That's cool.
I've heard it.
Hidden gem of the con, ideal box booth, plastic organizers I've ever seen, and only €1.5 a box. I did not see those. But we did see in our hall, that guy who cut, that company that made those foam inserts that were machine printed.
Oh,
I've
really?
never seen those before. Yeah, you've seen foam inserts before, right?
Yeah.
These are machine printed foam inserts, and they were selling them for half the price of the wooden insert people.
Machine cut.
Machine cut, sorry.
I did not see that. Yeah.
I think we have one in our palette. I think it's actually I think it's a dice tower, but you can see what they'll look like when they come in. But they're going to be distributed in America for sure, so we'll see them. They look nice. You have to glue them together, which is my one negative thing. I don't necessarily want to do that, but they look like they're way easier to work with, and they show me how you can like smash them and then they come back, which is nice. You shouldn't be smashing them, but like if the box pushes against them, you know, they come back from that.
Well, and if they're laser cut or whatever, there'll be cleaner edges also.
Yeah.
So that'll look good.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go through.
Go, fire off questions. Quick question time.
Z, sorry when I took a picture with you, my camera phone was on a 5-second timer. I felt like a fool.
I remember that. It's fine. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
We were taking a selfie, and he pressed the button, and it like showed 5, 4, 3. And we're like, is it really slow delay? And then finally it counted down, and I took a photo. But no, we just thought it was funny.
I don't mind those for selfies because it tells you when it's going to happen, and it lets the person take their thumb off the thing, and you can maneuver it better.
Right. No,
I'm
it was fine. It was not a big deal.
Do you agree that designers should all wear name tags when they're at booths that sell their games? I always feel stupid, says Jesse, when at the end of the explanation, the employee turns out to be the designer.
That actually happened to me. Not
happens a lot.
Not at a booth, but I was walking to the booth one morning before the halls were opened, and a guy was coming from another direction, but we were coming into the same aisle. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, I know this guy from somewhere. I recognized his face, but I had no idea what his name was. And so he came up to me, and he said, do you remember who I am? I said, I remember your face. I just don't remember your name. And
designer
he
of
said,
Blood Rage.
No.
That's Eric Lang.
He said, Vital Lacerda. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. But I've like...
And then you said, I love your games!
No, I've never played any of his games because they're like really heavy games.
He's a really outgoing guy.
Yeah, but he is.
He's a great dude.
He's super, super nice. And
he's a great guy.
So that happens a lot. I see people, I recognize them, but I don't know exactly who they are.
Someone asked what I wish Essen had. That's one thing. I wish you had to wear name badges.
Yeah.
Just because you run into people all the time and you might know them. But even for that, like I want to go to a booth and be like, oh, the designer's here. Is it that person? They look self-assured. Well, no, but you might like I don't know what Matt Gertz looks like off the top of my head.
Sure.
So when I went by a booth, I'm like, is that Matt Gertz? Is that Matt Gertz? I don't know which one's Matt Gertz.
The problem is,
hey,
even if people are wearing name badges, though, it still leads to those awkward moments of you, instead of looking at their face, looking at their badge.
I don't care. That's not awkward to me. I look at their badge.
Very awkward.
I've gotten good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides, you do this,
that very
and my eyes look at there.
I'd be like, oh, did you see that booth over there?
So subtle. Yeah, very subtle.
Yeah, while they're looking over there.
I bring out a dove, and while they're looking up there.
Misdirection.
How much did each of you miss of what you wanted to see or experience?
Oh, gee whiz. My mission
Sam
was...
skipped the whole hall, so there's that.
Yeah, really 2 halls. I went there with the goal of demoing all of the games on my top 10 anticipated list. And
that's like a really huge goal.
I demoed 12 games, and I demoed 4 of the ones, I think 4, maybe 3 of the ones on my top 10. I could have done it. I just wasn't as...
No, that's good.
I got a couple rabbit trails in there.
Ooh, Sam and I have to be like extremely vague on this. We saw something unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's all we can say.
You guys are going to go bonkers.
It was amazing.
Over this when you see it.
That's like super vague, right? Like I'm not spoiling an NDA on that.
I'll find out what this is afterwards.
As soon as the camera shuts off. No, we were told not to tell you.
Don't tell me either. Yeah. I want to know before you guys know. Yes. No, I felt like I saw everything I wanted to, honestly. When we did the top 10 anticipated games thing, I think I saw all of those. The ones that were there. Pandemic wasn't there.
But Eric Summer
He played the demo.
trolled him to think it was.
He so did. Eric is the worst troll.
So Jason went to Z-Man and got a copy of, what was it, Fall of Rome?
Great City of Rome.
Great City of Rome. And he was Jason was very excited about it because he thought it was an exclusive. Anyway, so he came back and gave it to Eric or someone to put in the room, and Eric came back and said, "Oh, we got this game. I won't tell you anything about it, but it has the word Rome in it."
It's from Z-Man. It has the word Rome in it. And I was like, ooh, did we find, maybe it had a copy. And it turned out that it wasn't it. But he trolled me for a solid 5 minutes.
They didn't even have the anniversary edition of Pandemic there.
Did they not?
I didn't see it there. I saw it
okay.
in a glass case. I was going to break it, but I figured we'd get in trouble over
Missed
that.
opportunity, man, on both fronts there.
What's your favorite hall?
Wow.
The Galleria. No, I don't know.
For me, it's probably a tie between 4 and 5. I like those two halls. They have like small publishers, but not. Well, some of them were kind of off-the-wall
Let me
publishers,
think
but
here.
Yeah. I definitely spent the most time in 4 and 5, and then 6 is very close behind that. So.
well, I went through 6 a couple times and I was done. I was like, all right, I saw it all.
Man, I don't know. I like all of them for different reasons. One is the only one that has like a massive Asmodee, solid 50% of that hall is Asmodee. So there's very few booths in there that aren't theirs. But I like 3 just fine. I know it's crowded, but I like looking at those booths. Everybody's,
There's less booths. There's some.
fewer.
There's less of a booth. I can't do it. Okay, so there's fewer booths. I was going to work less in there
Yes.
properly. Anyway, so there's fewer booths there that when I walk by and I go, ooh.
Where?
There's
In 3?
at Essen.
Oh, at Essen.
In
Yeah,
Essen,
yeah.
period.
I agree.
There's a few booths. There was a booth in Hall 6 that I was like, went way around. But for the most part,
Oh, don't mention it, jeez.
No, why not?
you know the booth. I saw you sitting there playing the game.
Really?
No. Anyway, no, but there's a couple times you see a game, you're like, oof, that doesn't look good at all. I think I see there's so many good games there that I don't see that as much.
Sure. I agree. There's games there that are not for me. Clearly, like, I'll look and go, it's not really my style, but that, are worthy, are there because someone's going to like them. I agree with you there. I don't think there's a lot of booths there that don't seem like they belong.
I saw you one day at around 6:30 p.m. at your booth. I thought about saying hi, but you all look so exhausted. I thought you deserved a little break from people. Was that impression correct?
At the very
No.
least, come up to me and tell me I look tired.
Yeah, because he loves that. No, I mean
I give a free promo to people. No, I'm not gonna do that.
What's wrong with it?
One of the things that I mean, I guess I want to say I appreciate your sensitivity, but you have to understand that's one of the reasons that we're there is to meet people and to shake your hand and to talk to you for a few moments. So there's no reason for you not to do that.
Yeah, there's only 2 times, and I mentioned this before. If you're carrying a big stack of something, it's kind of I'm walking, and if you could make it to our booth before cleanup.
Yes.
As we're cleaning up everything, that's kind of an awkward time to
It
talk to
happened
people.
a couple of times where we were like, shuffling around boxes, especially the last day, shuffling around boxes, counting things, putting them in storage, this and that, and then if someone came up at that point, it'd be like, okay, well, I have to stop actually, working here, something that I'm going with, to say hi to you. That can be inconvenient, yes,
But that's it.
if we're just standing at the booth, that's what we're there
We
for.
have a spot where we can go, or people can't bother us, right? So if we're really tired, we'll just go there.
Right.
So if we're at the booth, please come by and say
A
hi.
happy place.
That's the happy
I'm at my
place.
happy place. What was the worst hall? Well, this person said Hall 3 was the worst because it was way too crowded. No kidding. Hall 3 was not even a little free to walk around. And
It's
I would go in Hall
always-
3 and be
it's
like,
always
"Argh." I'd pop into a publisher's booth, be like, hey, why are you here? Just to get out of the aisle.
Yeah.
I guess so. I still like it. I wouldn't want to be in there all the time, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, someone said that they came by a booth and we weren't there. We do put our schedule up when we were at the booth, and I think we followed that pretty much across the board.
Except for when we had our live show, we were late. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Coming back.
Of course,
That's
those people should have. You should have been at the live show. You could have seen it.
Yes. That was the only time that it fell out of sync.
Let's see here. People are talking about. Am I looking forward to playing the expansion for Fils Odin or Cavern more? It's a hurtful question. I didn't get either one. I'm very sad about that. I want to get both of those.
Twisting the blade.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
If anybody asks about Fall of Rome, I'm gonna jump through the screen.
Did you like Fall of Rome?
Where's the screen?
It's over there.
That's a wall.
No, there's a screen right there.
All right, well, we're going to end this here. We've done BackTalk in ages, so we'll do that quick, what do you guys call it? Oh, lightning round.
Lightning round.
Yeah,
All right.
lightning round.
Goat
Light-
cheese or moo cow cheese?
I wanted to come to Essen so bad because of you, and I live in Essen, but my job prevented that. A little appreciation at least. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
That really.
Wow,
stinks.
if you like lived in the city?
And you can't go because of work?
Yeah.
Even over the weekend? Oof.
Man.
That's rough.
Any Dice Tower West news? Well, I can tell you this. We picked up a lot of games for Dice Tower West Library there.
That's right.
So there's a lot of games coming from the con to Dice Tower West Library. All right, so if the lightning round, just pick two things, and we'll pick between them. Two things that I'm going to mention on air.
Yes. A or B. Here we go.
A or B.
And of course, someone now writes A or B.
Germany or USA? That's kind of a loaded question.
Wow.
Way to open up with that.
For games.
For games,
Well, that is a tough one. I'll go USA. Okay, where Sheriff of Nottingham or Spyfall?
Spyfall. Easier, faster.
I'll do Spyfall also, I think. But I don't play either one that much.
What you
All right,
gonna
Sheriff.
do?
Sheriff.
Yeah, we knew you was gonna say that.
German hats or American hats?
That's all you. I don't know.
I think
I'm
German
wearing
has
a
better
German
hats.
hat right now.
all right. Pies or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Ooh, that's a tough call. I'll go ice cream, no.
Pies.
PAX Unplugged or Origins?
PAX. No question.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so. Spiders or scorpions?
Spiders.
Both. Dead.
I like that answer. Aliens or robots?
Robots.
Depends on what aliens we're talking about.
That's true. There's that alien's a wide range,
Robots,
right?
same
If you're
thing.
talking
If it's
about
like
the
a
aliens-
Roomba or a little gray, then I'll take the Roomba. But, if it's a Terminator and, a nice alien, then
Technically,
come
a
on.
Terminator is a cybernetic organism, sir.
Ooh, I've been out nerded.
Cheese and onion or salt and vinegar? Salt and vinegar.
Cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion, man. Yeah, for sure.
Seven Wonders or Seven Wonders Duel?
Duel.
7 Wonders.
Staying in or going out?
Staying alive.
What?
Staying alive.
I'll
Staying
go.
I like
with-
going out better than staying in.
Yeah,
Staying in, man.
it depends. I like to
Staying
stay
in, baby.
Green Lantern or The Flash?
Ah.
Green Lantern or the Flash?
Yeah.
The Flash.
For comic books, Green Lantern, easy.
Oh, here we go.
But Green Lantern, for like TV, I guess Flash is better.
Flash
There's no-
Gordon.
Well, there is no Green Lantern
Not
TV
yet.
show.
Flash for me.
More fun to record, top 10 or top 100?
Top 10 for sure.
Yeah, because top 100, we kind of know a little bit about the games that are going to be in there. Top 10s is, I
Yeah.
have no idea. Lost Cities or Battle Line?
Battle line.
Battle Line.
Hard pass on both of them.
I saw something about root beer. Hang on. Oh
Root-
my goodness.
Root beer.
I don't care what the other thing is. Root beer.
Root
Yeah.
beer or cream soda?
Oh,
Root beer.
Root beer.
Cream soda.
Ugh.
I love it.
I like cream soda, but root beer is better.
I like cream soda. As
Roll and right or roll and move?
Rolling right.
All
That's amazing.
right.
How about right and move?
Schnitzel or sausage?
What's the difference?
Okay.
Come on, little
Thursday at the Spiel or Sunday?
cheeky.
I'll go with Thursday because the excitement level's higher.
Yep.
Yeah, first day and all that. Yes.
Candy or ice cream?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Playing a Vitel Lacerda game or yard work?
Vitel Lacerda game.
Yeah, of course.
I hate yard work. I'll play almost any game over that.
Man, come on. What is that about?
To Sam, plastic water bottles or fidget spinners?
Cell phones.
Burgers or tacos?
Tacos.
Burgers.
Ah!
Burgers. If it had been burritos or burgers, I'd have gone with burritos.
You're a burrito lover. You know a taco is a burrito.
No, it's not.
If you finish folding.
Barnacle
No, it
or
is not.
platypus?
Huh?
Barnacles
Barnacle
or platypus? Doesn't barnacle like just sit there on the side of the ship?
Yes.
Well, at least a platypus moves around.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous looking, so you can be like, "Pff, look at you.
I like the platypus.
Platypus,
better.
man.
White bread or black bread? I guess black bread means like pumpernickel maybe or something.
I don't know. White bread, I guess.
Han Solo or Malcolm Reynolds?
They're essentially the same character.
No.
That is a fact.
Han Solo's still around. And
Huh?
Han Solo still has movies and stuff being made about him.
So
I like Malcolm Reynolds.
they're essentially the same character. Malcolm Reynolds was based on Han Solo.
Was he?
Yes, that is a known fact.
Well, I didn't know it.
Admitted
Well,
from
come
the
on.
producer.
Get up to speed with important things.
Schnitzel or steak?
Schnitzel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
schnitzel
for
for
sure.
me. Ice cream or frozen yogurt?
Ice cream or frozen yogurt?
Yeah, frozen yogurt.
He told me
Nah.
they're making those with magnets now. So
Yeah?
they'll stay down better.
That's good, because it gets
Philly cheesesteak or doner kebab? Oh, that's a hard
I
call.
don't like either one of those things. So. I don't like Philly cheesesteak. You know I like the processed meat stuff more.
I don't even know how to respond to you now. That's a tough call. I like them both, but I'm going to go Philly. But it's close.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be in Philly. That's good.
Yeah, it's true. So we're like building up slightly.
Uh-huh.
Origami or woodworking?
Woodworking.
Yeah.
Origami, I guess. Red Sox or Dodgers? Isn't it over? I don't know. Is it over?
What color
Red
socks
Sox
do
won.
you prefer normally?
Red.
Dodgers. It was Dodgers or Red Sox. You asked them what color socks did you?
I thought it was a color of socks question. Wasn't
my
that it?
goodness, stop trolling.
Okay. Star Wars or Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars.
Star rings.
Star Rings.
Star Rings.
That's a totally different. We put on our Star Rings.
Lord of the Wars.
What do I like better? I don't know. Star Wars, I guess.
Deaf or blind?
Deaf, for sure.
I thought about this a lot, actually. I think deaf, but man, I would miss music so much.
You can still feel music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, being blind is
I'm gonna go
worse.
hard pass on both of them.
Well, come on. You're supposed to pick.
No.
You have to pick.
Cheating
don't.
or rage quitting?
Neither.
Like that I would want to happen to me, that I want to do. I don't understand this question. Cheating. I'll take cheating over someone rage quitting.
Oh, someone says Star Rings is Green Lantern. There you go.
There you go.
All right, well, that's it. We got to end here. Sorry. We'll see you guys next time. We'll try to do some more
ring to
back
rule
talks.
them all in Green Lantern? No. No, there
You
wasn't.
think he has? No, their things come from those yellow lanterns. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
Sauron was a Green Lantern who fell on the Middle Earth area, and that ring used to be green.
Oh my goodness. The nerd is strong with this one.
All righty. Anyway,
Yes.
until next time, I'm Tom Bassel.
I'm Z Garcia. Have a good one.
Sam Healy. Take care, folks. See you on the flip side.
Ba, ba, ba.